Hey there, what's going on? Today I am looking at the rear brakes on this 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan. I have a problem where on light braking, low speeds, there's a lot of noise coming from the rear left wheel. I inspected this before and found there was nothing wrong, but the sound is still there, so I'm gonna come up with a little band-aid fix to keep it going until I actually need to replace the brake pads and rotors. So I know a few tricks. We'll get to this. It was super loud. It was embarrassing. So we'll get this wheel off, get in there and see what we can do. First, jack up the car. And then remove the wheel. Then you shake your head in shame because you need brake pads. Awesome. All jokes aside, my brake pads are pretty thin on the inside. You see this one is so thick. On the outside there's like 2 or 3 millimeters left. In my opinion, this is done, unless you're planning on coming back servicing this very soon. I need a rotor as well. It's in terrible shape. It's close to 50% contact patch on the front. I don't know what it is on the back, but I'm gonna take this apart, do what I can to make it last. Okay, I'm gonna start with well, the only thing you take apart on these brakes. It's a good design. See the bracket, it doesn't get into the way of the rotor, so you'd only have to remove these two. And one thing I like about these sliders is they are the bolt, so every time you move them you're essentially unseizing them, and you know that the brakes are actually moving and attempting to wear your pads down evenly. Maybe there's some other issue that's causing. I'm still gonna sand it down right here and right here, a few millimeters. Alright, I'll take a wire wheel and clean up. So you're gonna put the lubrication right here. If we're changing brake pads, I'll just put some lubrication on where the caliper is going to touch. Alright, that's that. This guy slides into the caliper, but it's going to take up the space that the back brake pad needs to get in. So we'll take the back brake pad, lube it right where the piston's pushing. You know, get up on the ears. Just move. And okay, now we can push this right back into the caliper. Awesome. And then this guy has the 2 ears here. Should be able to just the bottom part of the pad away from the piston, and then kind of rotate it as I'm pushing. We get to here. You shouldn't use a hammer. Should be able to do it by hand. So we got the lube on this. Brake pads are all lubed. There's one more thing to lube. Right here, the sliders. So you should be able to just push them right out. And the good habit for the sliders is just do one at a time. No matter what. Like on this design, they're exactly the same side to side. But in some cases you have a rubber bushing on the top or the bottom or whatever, and it needs to go back in the same spot or you might have a noise. But anyways, this gets shoved in that way. Put some good lube on it. My setup is missing the caps, which is kind of a issue. There's supposed to be caps on the backside right here, right on top. Or is there? Some designs it doesn't look like there's space on this one, which I think is ridiculous. And it's exposed to the air, but I mean, judging by the way this looks, it works. Or judging by the way my brake pad looks, it doesn't. Alrighty. Okay, this is a good one. So when you're installing this, first thing I look at is right there. Want to get it under, and then apart the brake pad. Now you gotta get those ears to come up. Yeah. Sometimes a little bit of a tap with a hammer does it. If you need this much, I mean, if you need a hammer to get them into place, that's not good at all. Like, I can see I'm jiggling them around. You can see that grease moving and stuff. But no, these pads need to be able to float. When you let go of the brake pedal, they're going to need to be able to disengage, not drag on the rotor. Otherwise, you're going to have issues. I'm not really sure what the torque is on these. If I were to guess, I'd say go at least 25 foot-pounds. Hoping you know how to put a wheel on if you're going this far, but just like that. It's fixed. I'd say we're confirmed fixed now. I've been driving for a bit. No sounds. Awesome. Fixed. Mean that brake pad's only gonna last me a little bit. I'm gonna have to change that in the next couple thousand kilometers. But on the plus side, if I end up going metal to metal, I already need a rotor, so I'll just have an undrivable van. But in my experience, you can just get to where you're going, park it, and you're safe. But yeah, catch you later.